Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and we are doing a little road trip up to New York. We're gonna go visit with a viewer, Ed, that contacted us that has a lot of really cool old hot rod history. His dad and family have been hot rodding since basically the early days, or the heyday as I call it, of hot rodding, and he has some cars that are from his area that are basically restored to as raced, as driven, and they have a ton of documentation. He invited us up there to take a look at the cars, take us for a ride in one or two of them, and just learn about these neat old pieces of history. And we want to take you guys along for the ride, so I'm going to jump in the truck, head north about 2 or 3 hours to New York, and we're going to come by and show you guys what we find. Thanks, Moon.
Car was bought in 1948 by Ray Stowell. He took the fenders off of it, put a set of heads, intake on a flathead. Then in 49 he channeled it, ran it with a flathead, Ford box, 40 Ford rear until 55, and then he put the 331 Chrysler in it, and a Buick box, and a 48 Ford rear end with a wider housing. And he raced it at Daytona and came in 4th place behind like real top guys. And then the car just sat since then. And in 58 he built a 2-door sedan with a bigger Chrysler, and he ran that. And this car got sold and parked.
And how did you guys come into this car?
My father bought the car in 1960
Okay.
from a man named Gil Arnold that bought it from Ray Stowell. The car sat in the garage till 1970. My uncle bought it, Joe's father.
Okay.
He bought the car in 1970, and he had it until 1982, and they decided to sell it, and I got it back for $1,200 and a Ford 8-inch tractor. And that's just what it was.
Wow.
And ever since then, it's been in the garage.
So
you
you
went to high school.
really
You know, on and off, but I've had it forever.
So you guys, when did you guys redo it or repaint it?
It was painted 35 years ago by Mark Van Acker.
Oh, okay.
Talented painter, lives in PA.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just threw the black interior in it to go to race a gentleman. Me and my sister put it in like, I don't know, 8 hours. And it had a beautiful white and red tuck and roll interior that my cousin Joe and his father did. It's in the box out in the garage. You put it in plastic containers.
Oh, wow.
You can feel it under the door panels, yet the interior of the door panels is still there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can feel the pleats.
Yeah, we just took the panels off and just put the black over it.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
In order to put the roll bar in it, you know, we had to take the interior out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, did you, you have some old photos and videos of this car?
I got pictures of it from 1948 when it wasn't channeled, right up until today. Pictures of it racing at Daytona, Galesville, pictures of it racing coming back from Allentown, PA in 55. Lots of pictures, lots of history.
Was this car pictured in Rod and Restyling at the Allentown? This one wasn't?
The twin was to this.
Okay.
Which is the car I told you about earlier.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
At the time, this had a flathead in it yet, in 55. And then in 55 later that year, they put the Chrysler in it.
It's got like old Hurst mounts, adapter mounts on.
I tried to buy Hurst mounts from you, but it came back sold. They went on the Instagram. You had two Hemi mounts. I tried to buy them. Yeah, it said sold.
Yeah, they got sold real quick.
But the original mounts I have, they were both cracked, and I was afraid with the slicks on it. The last time I tried to hook it up, I was going to break them in half, so I just put the Hurst mounts on it. And Ray Stowell, the guy that built this car, worked for Ed Allenquist.
Okay.
You know, and he raced for Allenquist for 2 or 3 years. You know, it was a part-time thing, and just a talented guy. I don't know what else to say about him.
Wow. It's killer.
See, they've been patched 100 times.
Yeah.
They've been brazed and welded and cobbled together over the years. Just
so
got a Hudson steering box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's got some cool, it really was a really cool car when it had the Buick box in it. If you liked everything just being the way it was. Because it was.
And headers were built in what year?
56.
56.
Yeah. The back of this car where the taillights are used to have a steel bumper. It had a steel piece of angle iron that was cut. And it had a tow hitch on it.
Oh,
because they broke them all the time and towed them. They drove this car to Daytona with chains on the back till Maryland. They went in February to race.
Oh my God.
So from here to Maryland, they had chains on it in 56. No,
crazy.
57, I should say.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You don't have any do you have any photos of it with chains on it?
I don't think I got a photo with chains on it, but I definitely got pictures of it at the beach.
That's cool.
With the top on it, and the top I still have, but I can't have a top with the roll bar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the top was the same thing. I think it was done in 56. And it looks good with the top. I don't fit so good.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But the guy who built it was my height.
I see it's got Lincoln brakes on it.
Back brakes.
Yeah, and I saw it. He had them turned.
You have to take them off to bleed the brakes.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, that's why I got one that's grabbing right now. I'm not looking forward to doing it.
That's a pain in the butt.
But that's what they had when he did it. You know, he was lucky to get them then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I say, he was way ahead of a lot of guys when he was building stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you see interesting stuff like that all the time. It's like, it's what he got, and he figured it out how to make it work. And
well, they had bigger bearings. Put Lincoln hubs on it, sticks the wheels out a little bit further, gives them a little more bearing surface.
Let's see with the drum.
You got it.
So it was a hot rod, like when he got it already?
No, it was full fender stock.
It was all original car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
First week he had
He channeled it in 1948.
49.
49. Said he read an article in one of the magazines how to do it.
Had a channel, a roadster or a car, yeah.
Like Mechanics Illustrated or something. It was one of those things.
Wow. Started with a clean stock car and then started.
Oh, there's pictures. You can show them the pictures when he just took the fenders off.
I got a picture of it, with a high boy. Yep.
That's great.
The only car you ever regretted getting rid of was this car, right? Every time he saw me.
Really?
Yep. They never sold the car after 1960. That's why this car is still here. That's why that sedan's still there. That's why his sedan was still in the garage. They sold the car that was still on Quest letter. Kid got killed in it.
Really?
Yeah. So all these cars sat in the garages. They wouldn't sell them. They
Wow.
were afraid to get to somebody and somebody couldn't drive them.
Oh yeah, I see all the carriage bolts now. That was just what they were doing.
Yep. That was right.
Just to fill the holes. It's easy. That's cool.
It looks like in the center is B model Mac.
B model Mac.
You know, to get the length. That's
Yeah.
back when they had junkyards.
Yeah, when you could go pick stuff.
Yeah, you went with a tape measure
Yep.
and just were like, huh,
What can we make work?
this looks great. Wow.
And the same thing in the front. You can tell where it curved. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
a
yeah.
perfect thing. But when he cut it, he radiused it to make the cut look right.
Right, right. Yeah, it looks until you point out the hood, it
Yeah.
it looks right.
It looks good on the car, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was common too with how they bring the hose down over the cross member.
Yep.
Like that.
And it's just funny because I could have put one piece hose on it. I could have had one. I could have found one.
Right, right.
But that's how it was. You know, it's got 4 hoses to make the one, and I just didn't have the heart to change it. It's just the way it was, and that's the way I left it.
Yeah.
And I've actually cut hoses to make them fit because the other ones rotted off.
That's right. You kind of got to do that when you have a car like this.
Yep. Just wanted to leave it the way it was.
Love it.
All right, so that's it in 1948 when he bought it. He took
Okay.
the fenders off of it. 21 stud flathead. Then in 49 he channeled it, pretty much the way a car looks now. And it went through the different progressions, you know, different transmissions, Packard boxes, Ford boxes. It's coming back from Allentown in 1955. At that point he had a hot flathead in it. And, you know, small roll bar.
24 stud at that
Yep.
point. Yeah.
Another picture of it, same day.
Wow.
And that's 1956. He's got the 331. It was a big bell motor. And to the left, you'll see that channel 2-door sedan
Yeah.
had a 12-cylinder Lincoln in it.
Wow.
And that's the car in 1957 before he went to the beach.
Okay.
Where it was 1956 could have been even, you know, before he went to the beach. Beach was February, so. And this is probably around the same, here 52, 53, 51 maybe. It's hard to tell. You know, I always go by the cars in the background.
Right, right.
And you know, the basic change, I mean, he still got wire wheels on the car at that point. And that was right there.
Yeah.
This is the Orange County Fairgrounds.
Oh, that's where he's.
He's on the dirt. You'll see him with a stock car right there pretty soon. There he goes. I don't know if he gets him on this corner or the next, but he takes him.
That's funny.
It really is, isn't it? The car he drove on the street every day.
Yeah, yeah. This is when he had a Hemi in it.
No, it's a flathead.
Flathead.
Yeah, still a flathead. He's out there running with the stock car, guys.
Oh my god.
He's got him.
Wow.
Yep. Fun times.
That's cool.
This is the Galesville Airport, 1952-53. That's Ray's wife Eunice in the car when it was blue with a flathead.
Oh, neat.
It didn't get red until they put the Hemi in it.
Oh, okay.
And in the black and white pictures, they all look the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it was definitely blue. Good flathead. And you'll see, you know, running with a T-bucket, and that car next to not that roadster, but the one on the far side of it is Dick Willick's car.
Yeah, channeled that right in the front is.
The Model A, yeah.
Yeah.
Down in the dirt.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
So he still had all these videos? Like that's what he...
This, my father took these.
Oh, yeah.
My father was in a 52 Ford, I think, when they took these.
Oh, wow.
Yep, he didn't take all of them. That's the car at the beach. That's Ray at Daytona. The pure fuel stickers on it, a pure racing gas. You have to put those on when you run them at the beach.
Yeah.
They gave you free gas every time you went through the beach. They change your oil and give you gas.
Wow.
So those guys would go to the end of the beach, have the empty cans, so they had enough gas to get home. You know, because they were running out of money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it's red there with the roll bar and it's got
Yep.
the Hemi now.
Yep. It's just pretty much the way it sits today, other than the transmission in the rear end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, some semi-elliptic spring in the back, nothing's changed.
That's cool.
Same exact headers on it today that he put on it then.
So who did he go out with?
John Pelton the first year with the Roadster.
Okay.
And when they went in 58, my father went, Ray went, and John Pelton went.
Oh, cool.
So they took 232s when they went down in 58, and my father had a 57 Ford Ranchero.
Nice.
That, had the extra motors, transmissions, because they blew a motor on the, blew two motors on the beach.
Really?
And they had to tow 132 home. They could only drive one of them back. And that was after putting the motor in on. They ran at sea level, and that's the Roadster when they sold it to Gil Arnold.
Okay. It's got
That's 1959.
the old caps on it. Love it. Man, that's a great photo.
Yeah.
And it's so, I like seeing the change of the styling,
Yep. And that was him. Look at it with the zoot suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me the story, Ed, on this 32 two-door sedan here.
My father bought it in 1957. He chopped it in 58 or 59.
Okay.
It's been in this barn its whole life, within 20 feet.
Wow.
Never gone any further.
And
He drag raced it, in Montgomery, Island Dragway, Cecil County, Maryland, all over. All the tracks in the late 50s, early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time he ran it was probably 65 at Island.
okay.
He ran it the day that Garlitz broke 200, I think. He was down there the same day.
Wow. And what year did it become an All-Quest?
There was never an Elmquist car. This one was never
This was
lettered.
never an Elmquist car?
No, there was 3 cars, 2 got lettered, 1 got crashed, and that was the end of that.
Oh, okay.
So this one never got lettered.
Oh, okay.
But it's identical to the one that was lettered.
Right,
They're exactly the same cars. Same steering boxes, same axles, identical.
Yeah.
And when they got converted, from the 40 Ford rears and the Packards and the Buicks, they both went to Muncie's and, Pontiac and Olds rears.
Yep.
And the last time it really got any real modifications was probably 65.
Okay.
Other than I had, half a dozen small block Chevys, a couple small block Fords, 3 or 4 Chryslers. I had 324 holes in it. It's had everything in it. You can tell by the notches in the fenders when you look in the frame rail and the bangs. And if there's been a motor back then that you could run, it's had it.
Yeah. Yeah, you were saying you guys used to ride around it as kids.
Yeah.
As a normal.
Yeah, it's a normal car.
Yeah.
With a small block Ford in it.
Wow.
It was maroon with black fenders and a blue interior.
Ugh.
Wonderful. Yeah. And then as soon as I got it, I sprayed it blue.
Yeah. But this interior is the same interior?
It's been in there probably since 1960, I would say.
Wow.
Maybe a little older than that, but right around there.
And that's the roll bar that was
Yep.
been in it?
Yep.
I love the little headrest that's down.
Well, you can tell too as it went in through progression. You can see all the different stages this car took.
Yeah.
From it just started with a square, a square bar. Then it got a cross brace in the back. Then it got a seat belt. Then it got a shoulder harness. Any of the old drag cars you look at, where the gas lines and the brake lines go through the frame by the flywheel, they're all encased in steel. So you can always tell a real hot rod when you look at them. Right in the center cross member, look for like an inch pipe, 3/4 inch pipe, and the gas line and the fuel line would have gone through 2 different pipes because that was NHRA before blow-proof bells. Because guys were cutting brake lines in half, cutting gas lines in half with flywheel explosions.
Wow.
Hence the scatter shield in the back that that I showed you. That thing is all welded together with 30 different pieces.
So your dad did most of the work on this car in this?
Him and Ray, the guy that built the Roadster, and had the other one just like this. They did them here and they did them at Ray's house. It's 10 minutes from here.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, they've been around a long time, these cars. The whore. My mother called it that. My mother's the most religious church person you'll ever see. One of the John Pelton, the guy that had the other sedan, picked that girl up in the bar or something down there, and she stayed with him the whole week. My mother just called it the whore. I was like, who's that woman? My mother, my sister, we're sitting. She goes, it's the whore. I'm like, my mother said the whore. It's the whore.
There's a picture of the engine.
Yeah, I was in the palm trees. You'll see more of them. The first night they went down, they blew the transmission out of a sedan, scattered it. Yeah, just great pictures.
Sitting in the grass, there we go. Oh my god.
It's on a chain.
Yeah.
Yep. My father.
Oh, he's crushing him, yeah.
Yep.
That's funny.
This is the car that got crashed.
Oh, okay.
That one right there. It had a flathead in it at the time. When it got crashed, it had Hemi in it. They put a Chrysler in it and then he sold it.
Was that chopped in or?
No. Nope. And this is Ray's car. You're going to see it in a second. It's so freaking cool. He didn't set the record that race. My sister made some mistakes. He won, and he won the year, but he didn't break the record.
Gotcha.
You know, but he won the year he was down there.
That's so cool.
We did this for Ray when he was, you know, way before he got sick. Because we gathered all the pictures and everything we could find, so we had something.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
If someone like you don't keep it, it's going to be gone.
Yep. That's why I like somebody else to take the pictures and do something with them. I had guys tell me all the time, well, you've got pictures, you know, you can sell them. I'm like, we just saw a picture, bro. Why don't you give them to everybody so they can look at them? It's the craziest thing. But you don't put anything on them when you posted it. You didn't say it was your picture, anybody can use it. It's like, well, let them use it. Who cares?
I had a picture one time I wanted to copy over at Walmart, and it had the photographer's name on it. They won't do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Once you put your name on it,
Protected by.
yeah, he destroyed the motor at sea level, burnt holes in all the pistons.
Wow.
Ranchero.
Killer.
You gotta see the pictures of it with the engine and stuff, and rear ends and shafts, and it's all piled up and they're towing cars home. Bill Francis' signature down in the corner.
That's cool. It's great you have all that stuff still.
No idea what he was doing.
You know, films in the 50s, man, that'd be pretty rare, because even when we were kids, you were the only ones that had film.
Yeah.
We
You had slides.
had slides.
Yeah. Some of the best pictures I got off the slides from Montgomery Airport from Gil and Ronald. Blown motors, both of them. They towed it to the car show, they won the show, you know, whatever. No, they were identical. When I mean they're identical, right to the bumper cars, I mean they're identical. They're absolute twins. See all the shit in the back of that range?
Yeah.
My mother.
Wow. You gotta get a two-tone Ranchero now.
No.
Pull, plateau this with it.
One's
They're all rusted away.
Yeah, they rotted away. Those things terrible.
Last time I went hard from second to third, I hung it up and I couldn't, or I'd go and eat pop or when you go.
Yeah, the Muncie you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's from sand from under the beach. As much as I cleaned it when I got done, my father raced it, it's just gotten everything.
Yeah, I heard that it's.
And I literally took everything apart. Wheels off, we packed the bearings. I mean, I went through everything because there was sand everywhere.
Wow.
U-joints, I mean, just, it was incredible.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Going down the road, 3 months later, the sand's blowing out of the windshield, blowing out from underneath the dash.
because it's got such high low gears in the car, you can just